Alright, so, okay, it's recording. Alright, guys, so this is the first live that I'm doing on this channel. After so many times of thinking about it, I finally got the time to actually look more into it and how I can be able to have a better format and everything, because there's some lives that I've seen where people had their phone vertically. Now, all this is on my phone. So, I don't have any fancy equipment. I got a ring light. That's about as fancy as I can get right now. So I'm able to get some more bread in order to get more of that stuff as time goes by. But with what I have right now, I'm going to use it until I be consistent with that, and then I'll eventually get some more equipment. But yeah, my channel's small, may not get that many people on a day-to-day basis, but for those that have come on here and have comment on the videos, I really appreciate that. At least, I'm helping out some people. May not be, enough people that may hear the message, but at least it's getting to someone. But yeah, it's the first live just to discuss my channel and some things that I'll be doing. I probably said some of this in my other videos as well, of some of the kind of content that I want to put out on the channel. So as most of y'all have noticed, I've been doing like a variety of videos, some reactions, some skits, but most of those are like in the short form, like short in the YouTube Shorts algorithm. I haven't done any like horizontally. Most of them have been vertical, so working on doing that as well. But the shorts, it really helps when it comes to skits, like putting them in the shorts, the shorts content, short stuttering. My goodness, the short form algorithm. It really helps to grow your channel. So if y'all have like a small channel like me, y'all can do some shorts. It can be anything, but make sure that it'll be something that can be relatable. At the same time, you can put some tags. You want to put tag shorts and whatever else that is related to that, then you should be able to get at least 100 views at that. But so as of lately, I haven't been putting any commentary out because I'm still working on that, obviously. But to be real with y'all, lately it's been a very mentally challenging task. When you have a lot of things that you want to do, but you just don't know where to start at, it can be overwhelming. For me, it is. I know to other people it is, but I'm just saying it for me right now on this channel. I have a lot of scripts that I started, I didn't finish yet, and there's some that I haven't even started yet. That's like late, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna put it on there because I have to finish what I started. So yeah, and also the reactions. I haven't been watching as much of the news. Now, the only time that I will find out about what's going on is through YouTube. Obviously, you see a video that's recommended to you, and even with that, it can be an addiction. Like for me, it's an addiction when you're putting your videos on YouTube. You want to be able to get insight from other sources as well, but after some time, you can be consuming so much to where you're not doing or putting any work out on your own. Instead, you're watching other people's content all day, knowing that you have a YouTube channel that is dying and you're not doing nothing to revive it, it's, you know, you're really stunning yourself from actually growing. Like, you're stunning your channel's growth by doing that. And to be real with you, that's what I've been doing because, like I said, I'm just sitting back and observing. Now, as far as with the news, I haven't been watching so much of the news, but it may be something that came out like with this person, or something that probably came out of Hollywood. Somebody would probably send it to my phone, then I may look into it or whatnot. But other than that, I haven't been really um, so tied into the news, like turning on the TV. And I did see in one of my videos that we had a period. My dad, his the TV that he had got, it had went out, and it's been working for some years. Like, it's about 7 years old. It's somewhere around that number, and it just went out. But I remember during that period when we didn't have the TV in the living room, it just kind of felt more peaceful for whatever reason. Because I remember before, like when I was with my mom, she never really had me to watch TV as much. She didn't even let me have a phone at that, which is sheltering, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, I can kind of see where she was going at with that, of why she didn't allow me to even have a device, or even a phone, for crying out loud. I'm starting to see the reasons why now, because mm, mm, mm. if I had started from then compared to now, like, who knows, I would not have especially I don't have the mindset now, and there's still some things I need to work on. You can have some moments to where you're not disciplined. There's some moments to where you are disciplined, and you know, excuse me if I make pauses. This is my first live. I'm just free flowing. Anything that's coming into my mind, I'm just talking about it. Like I said, I'm just discussing my channel and and what things I'm trying to do and what things I've been doing, outside of the channel. So, going back to what I was saying about my mom, she didn't really have me to be around any devices. I had a device, that was taken away. No hard feelings, mom, but I'm like, man, he took my tablet away. But now I'm looking back, like, these devices could be used as a tool, you know, to be productive, or you're just gonna be consuming. And especially, you're consuming very negative and brain rot content, and you're not watching anything that's gonna be fulfilling or helping you to grow or giving you ideas of what you may want to do. It can either be used for good or for bad. But um, yeah, it's some things in life you just won't get until later on. And I really not right now. I can see that she did that for a reason. Because if I had my phone back then, I don't think I would have been mature. I probably would have been posting everything, looking for validation, and I would have never even had much going on for myself because I would have not invested that time into creating something. And that's what she was trying to get, me to do. We would go outside, she would take me to the park. Now if I wanted to get on a device, I would have to go to the library on the computer. And even with that, that was monitored, of course. And plus it was time. Like, they would give you a paper at the desk or something like that. They would give you a paper at the desk. You would type in the code, and then it would show, like, in a little box tab, like on the corner of the computer. It would show, like, maybe 50 minutes. Or I think if I remember, I think they gave you or asked like how much time you need on the computer. So they'll put that in there and then they'll give you the paper and the code and everything once you scan your library card. But really thinking about that, it's crazy how time flies. That was back in 2015, 2016. Yeah, 2015, 2016. And I would say I was definitely more at peace. I mean, there was things I was going through then, but I mean, compared to now, like being older, you have responsibilities, but you were in school at that time, and you were able to, enjoy life a little bit more. You weren't. I mean, you may hear the news every now and then, like if you pass by your parents or your grandparents in the living room and they have the news on, you may hear about something, be like, oh man, that was terrible, and like, yeah, prayers up to them, and we have to keep those people in prayer. Because right now, there's a lot of things that's taking place in this world. Makes you really have lost the words because there's so many things happening all at one time. So you like, man, I really don't know what to say. There's too much going on. Like it really is. And you try to stay up with that. And I did make a video saying that you try to keep up with a lot of stuff in the world, you will lose your sanity. Real talk, you will actually lose your sanity. You'll really feel like you're going crazy. That's why I made a random thought video. And yeah, let me describe that. I mean, um, explain like how I have my videos formatted. So if y'all go on my playlist, I have random thoughts. Random thoughts have that playlist have like 60 videos. That's a lot. That playlist has more videos than the other ones. Then you have the commentaries and the reactions. Now, like I was saying with the skits, that's more in the short form content. That's not like a playlist, but that's what I'm trying to get it to. But those would be like the horizontal formatted videos, not the vertical. Because like I said, the shorts are more like the more vertical. So I'm trying to work on doing that as well. But I really push those kind of videos in the YouTube Shorts algorithm. So yeah, but going back to that, not having the device to be around me constantly, it had me to really be thinking. Oh, another thing, if I had a radio. That was probably the only electronic device I had. Oh my goodness. I tell you, listening to the radio station was the thing for me. That was my form of entertainment. And listening to some CDs and maybe let me see what CDs. It was maybe some older music, maybe older gospel music CDs in there. There was some sermons, but then I would listen to the different radio stations at the time. But that was like I guess like my source of TV. But I was still I would say I was still kind of bored. But see, out of boredom, that's when you create ideas. So I would say definitely that year I was coming out with a lot of stuff. I was coming out with a lot of stuff because I had nothing else to do, really. Go outside, but like on a device was nowhere near. If anything, I would get a device. It was probably my mom's phone, but I mean after that, even that was time. But now looking back then, like I know I'm repeating myself. I keep saying and all these words. But it really created the things and the talents that I do today. That's what it was back then. That's what it created. It had me to create things. That's what it turned that, like, all that back then. I didn't know how it was gonna help me. And like I said, not all days were the best days, and even now, not all days are the best days. I mean, everything's about learning, and life is a puzzle because I'm still trying to put the pieces together. You know, trial and error. I mean, some things still don't make sense. Some things I'm still learning. Some things don't make sense. And that's why I put these random thought videos. It may be something I understand, and it may be a question that I put on here. And just to show that, you know, I can do at the end of the day, yeah, I can do these commentaries, I can do the reactions, I can do these comedy skits. But at the end of the day, all these people that are on here have problems too. They have thoughts that come, and that's why I make the random thought videos. It helps me to be more authentic. It may not get the most views. I mean, it just depends. But whoever watches it, you know, it would help them out, and it means a lot to me that at least I'm helping out one person. So, um, yeah. So the playlists, those are how the playlists are right now on the channel. If anything changes, then I'll probably create that. Or if right now it's commentary, thinking about actually doing some vlogs too. Now, as far as with politics, as y'all can see on my channel, like I've been, you know, Trump, Trump, Trump. Well, the beginning, the beginning. But right now, when it comes to politics, it can get very messy. There's a lot of stuff that's taking place right now that we still don't understand. And there's some things that will kind of get pushed to the side, but it's like, well, you know you ran on that campaign promise, but what's happening is that there's a lot of confusion going on. People don't really understand what's taking place. Some things, like most things, are distractions from what's actually really happening. And the whole thing with the files being released, yes, he ran on that promise, but then as soon as there was some kind of delay, then people like, oh, they were speculating, saying, oh, he's on the list. But you know what I have to say to that though? If he was on the list, why didn't the Biden administration release them? They had ample amount of time. The past 4 years they had a lot of time. If he was on the files, that would have tarnished his name and he would have never got elected. As simple as that. So, I'm telling you, like that would probably be like another live. I may do a video on that, but there's a lot of things, like I said, that I have to cover up on, not cover up on, but cover on. Um, yeah, it's a lot to uncover when it comes to that, but right now I'm kind of like pulling back from that. Now you can't worry yourself about that because you're not in control of anything. But there is more people, regular, civilians here on this level. There's more of us than them, so they need us to vote for them to get in. But at the same time, there's still a system to where they can get elected or selected by the electoral college. So it's like, yeah, we kind of vote for them, but then at the same time, the vote don't really count. And I know, like, during the election last year, and that's another video I'm gonna have to do. I was supposed to do that last year, but like I said, when finishing last year, there was a lot of stuff going on. Closing off in 2024, a lot of things were happening personally, and just even out there, it was a lot. So it's not too late to cover that, because a lot of things, a lot of things has happened even after, Trump had got in. But what I'm gonna say, as far as with the politics, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. I mean, I would consider myself a conservative, but I'm not heavily into politics to where, or heavily on either side to where I let that stand in the way of me building friendships. Some people, like, they were cutting their family members off, friends left or right, once they know who they voted for, and even after or before the election results. And even the people that did not vote, they got thrown in the category as a Trump supporter. Understand that, right? Understand that. That's crazy. They took to they took themselves to TikTok, and they were calling people all kind of names and stuff, just for the simple fact that their side did not win the election. Which is kind of, it's kind of funny because, in 2020, when, Biden had won that time, yeah, he won the election fair and square. But, the whole thing with January 6th, it was so weird how it happened though. Like, how would all those people be able to get to the Capitol like that? And even there was an episode on The Simpsons that predicted that. Vortex, man, we live in a matrix, man. I don't know. I mean, for me to even see that on the to even just to for the episode to be shown, or that snippet, there's a lot of things that these adult cartoons be predicting. It's crazy. And it makes you really feel like we're in a simulation. It's crazy. You don't want to be questioning your own existence, because you know why you're here. But, oh, mm, it's crazy. But, yeah, I think this live is going to be short, because that's what I really wanted to really do here, just to discuss some things, well, almost in a way to introduce or reintroduce the channel, and kind of get started with making lives. It's a small channel, like I said, my channel's small, but just see what how the lives go. I may do a live maybe 2 times a week. It all depends. But especially if it's like a topic that I want to go over, or some topics that may take more time than doing an actual video, it'll be better just to do the live and just cover everything. Like I said, I'm starting off small. I don't have a lot of equipment. I have this ring light, my phone, my computer, and I have um, another thing to where I do my reactions and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And let me know your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, those words, I'm signing out. Later.